And to have this conversation with us this evening, we're being joined by Dr. Awwal Abdullahi Aliyu. He is the Secretary General, Retired Military Veterans Federation of Nigeria, and also a security analyst. Good evening, Dr. Awwal. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. What are your thoughts on this development? You know, the idea of having sleeper cells in and around different corners of the country. It's quite a scary thought, one might say, because at this point in time, you don't know exactly who is who.
Well, exactly. To start with, I would say it's very unfortunate. Nigeria is in a very serious security situation. We are truly in a dilemma when it comes to security challenges. Nowhere is safe. Nobody is safe. Like you rightly put, you don't even know whom you are dealing with. Your immediate friend, your immediate neighbor, your security guard, your cook, your gardener, all those ones can be a threat, and all can connive along with bandits, kidnappers, call them to perpetrate terrorist acts on any human being or any individual. Nowhere is safe, so to say, because if Abuja can be attacked simultaneously for 2 days, then it means nowhere is safe. So it is truly very unfortunate, and then. But I know it is surmountable if government wakes up to its responsibility. It is truly surmountable. There is no situation that is above government, unless if government is not willing to. And I can see that there's a certain level of reorganization after a meeting with the Security Council with the President Muhammadu Buhari, with the security heads. I have seen that there is a certain level of reorganization, most especially the Nigerian army just about 2 days ago. That is suggestive of that, the fact that something is possibly going to be done. And then, like you rightly know, the DSS are always on their toes. They have always been on their toes, try to get information, provide information, and then also try to make some possible arrests where necessary, and like that. So same to the Nigerian police, but then it says what they are trying their best is, but Nigerians feel that their best is not yet good enough. They need to do more, not just more, but they need to intensify their effort and carve out these security challenges that we are having in the country. Unless that is done, my brother, we are truly in a soup.
Now, if you could explain to us how, you are a military veteran, so I reckon you should know how these people operate. I'm talking about the sleeper cells. How do they work? How do they operate? Is there a particular way that, or is there a particular pattern that one could see and identify how these people, work and where they are, and how to identify them when they see them or when they come across them?
Well, first and foremost, I want listeners to understand that these guys adopt what we call the guerrilla warfare. In a guerrilla warfare, everything is possible and anything can be done. What matters to them is just to succeed. They don't really have a particular pattern that they adopt. They do things according to what the situation permits or provides for them. So they move in a situation, it's more like a hit-and-run situation. And that was why the Nigerian securities have not been able to handle them the way they are expected to be handled and deal with them decisively the way they're supposed to be dealt with. Just for the fact that they are not stable, they are not in one place, and then you can only identify them in most cases by their tattered nature, because wherever you see them, you know that they look suspicious. They are suspicious of themselves, their movement, their mode of communication, even their mode of dressing. They dress in a way that once you see them, within you, if you're security conscious, you know that this person cannot be trusted, and then needed to be reported to the nearest security agencies. These are just part of it, but underline this word. They have adopted the guerrilla warfare, and in a guerrilla warfare, anything is possible. What matters to he who is fighting a guerrilla warfare is just to succeed, and they are succeeding because they don't have a real pattern. They are not like the conventional security where you have a particular pattern on attack on a particular kind of situation. No, theirs is they do what they think is the way out for them. But then they also have some level of expertise within them. We have the opinion that some of them either got trained by some security personnel. When I say security personnel, not serving. One of the biggest mistakes that we are having today, truly, and then the government needs to seriously look into that, is the dismissal of security personnel. So once you dismiss a security personnel who have had rigorous training on weapon handling, tactics, and the rest of it, and you are sending him off the job, sending him to open where he is now free, and then can access weapons. These guys get to these people. Sometimes even the personnel that have been dismissed felt shortchanged by way of their dismissal or whatever nature of offense they have committed. So they want to get back to either the people that dismissed them or the government itself. So they collaborate with these criminals in teaching them weapon handling tactics, and then as well as stripping and assembling of the weapon. So these guys can strip and assemble a weapon more than sometimes even a trained personnel, because those that are training them were also very experienced personnel in most cases, and that is within Nigeria. It is also suspected that there are people that mercenaries that are coming from outside, because in real sense, I can tell you that vividly that about 40% of these people perpetrating this act are actually not Nigerians. Yes, you will have possibly 60% or thereabout that are Nigerians, but they also have collaborators from outside the country, and that is why we are having this infiltration of weapons everywhere. You come to see a remote, very dirty, tattered-looking human being carrying sophisticated weapons that you begin to wonder, where does he get those weapons from? Or where are they even getting the money to buy these weapons? Yes, people will say that they get their money from ransom collection. Yes, that is correct. But then, where are they accessing these weapons, and why are these weapons always with them? And when you see them carrying, like I said, sophisticated weapons, you begin to wonder, from which angle are they coming with all these weapons from, and what is the future of this country if this continues to happen like this? So you can identify them by their mode of dressing. You can identify them by their means of communication. You can also identify them by when you see them, like I said, they look suspicious. They are more like not free. You see them looking just like a chicken that has been bitten by rain. You know how it looks when a chicken is being bitten by rain, heavy rain. When you see them, they look like that. So it is easy for them to be identified as such if people are so knowledgeable in terms of being security conscious and things like that.
All right, this is still the big story on Radio Now, 95.3 FM Lagos. Dr. Awwal, some stakeholders are particularly concerned about the immediate impact on the public, talking about the release of this information or said report, confirming the activities of these sleeper cells across the country. Do you think at this point in time it was a necessary thing to, do, or do you think it's better off not being out there in the public just to, prevent panic where not necessary?
Well, it is a double-edged sword. First, is releasing the information is important for people to be conscious, for them to be security conscious and to be mindful of where they go to, how they go to, where they go to, what they say and what they do. In the other hand, it is also dangerous because it is scaring of the people, and people become so uncomfortable and then unfree. But if you look at it critically also, putting the two together, it is better to be aware of security threats than to be ignorant of security threats and you get caught up in the security challenges. So that's why I said it is a double-edged sword. It depends on perception and understanding of the people. But in real sense, I think to an extent, it is not bad if government try to make its citizens understand that there's a threat, there's a danger ahead, So they needed to be cautious and be careful. Government is not, I and you and other Nigerians are the government, not the people in authority, that you can address as government. They are just in authority, but the real government are the people. This is why we're in a democratic dispensation, as they say, government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So the people are the government. And if the people are the government, then the people need to be informed properly of what situation they are in, what danger is ahead of them, and what goodies are also is about to happen to them. So, to an extent, I think it is not too bad if such information are being released. In any case, the most dangerous part of it is that these people have succeeded in putting fear into Nigerians. And that is exactly what they are working towards, to install fear, to make Nigerians lose confidence, both in government and even in themselves. And they have succeeded, so to say, 99.9% in doing so. Because every Nigerian today is afraid, and then they're afraid of the unknown. You are afraid, you don't even know what you are afraid of. You don't even know who you are afraid of. That is the challenge. And they're putting suspicion among Nigerians. First, Nigerians are suspicious of the government. Nigerians are suspicious of themselves. They have created distrust and disunity among us, and all in the name of trying to make ends meet for themselves. Because if you look at it, these people, there's differences between Boko Haram, banditry, and kidnapping. They are two different things entirely. To a certain level, Boko Haram will tell you that they are trying to install a certain level of authority for themselves as government. Banditry and terrorism, those ones are not after installing a certain level of authority. No, they are doing it just to create chaos, to create confusion, to create fear, and for them to make a lot of money out of it. That was why whenever they do kidnapping, they begin to ask for hundreds of thousands of naira. Now it is hundreds of millions of naira. The least they can ask for today is, once there's arrest, they ask you for 100 million. They don't care where you are going to get it. They don't care whether the person has the money or not. What matters is it is sweet in their mouth to say, pay 100 million. In fact, when they see that the person is looking healthy, the skin is looking good, maybe well-dressed, are looking very educated, then they begin to ask for even up to 500 million. And you begin to negotiate with them until they get to a level where they feel they are okay. And then they get these monies. You begin to wonder, where do they keep these monies when they get this money? Where are those monies? We heard that there are collaborators even among bankers. That was why there is another security report that is saying that watch out for the level of deposit in banks and people doing this deposit. Because where you collect 100 million, take, for example, just recently in the train attack in Kaduna, about 3 of the abducted people were released. We heard they were paid, 100 million was paid for each. That is put together, they were released the same day, the same time. That is suggesting to say that 300 million naira was paid before they were released. My brother, you can imagine, even if it is in a bail of 1,000 naira, 100 million naira is not a joke. They put together 300 million. Where are they taking those monies to? And they move in bikes. What kind of bikes are they putting such monies to? Where are they saving those monies into?